So what I really want to talk about today is that T app, that T dating advice, which is not even about dating. It's more about post this guy and bash him, say whatever you want to say about him, even if it happened 10 years ago or if it didn't happen at all. You guys are taking things out of context. You're making things up. You're bringing up family members, sisters, siblings, mothers, fathers, cousins, all this kind of information. And what you're really doing is ruining lives and hurting people's mental health. When someone hurts themselves, it's going to be on you. You're ruining lives. You're hurting people. You're being a hater. You're contributing to hate. You want to see more love and happiness in this world, but look at what you guys are doing. This is not okay. This is not Christian-like. This is not normal behavior. You guys have to get a grip on yourselves, literally. And you guys act like rumors don't happen and no one's ever said a rumor about you. I'm pretty sure they have, and you guys know exactly how it feels. So stop over-exaggerating. Stop reporting false information. Stop making up like it's not okay. It's not worth it. You're literally degrading yourselves, degrading our men. If you're so worried about someone that's going to be an offender, I mean, if he's so bad, we would already know about him, one. Number two, there's a background check for a reason. And number three, like I said, people change, people live, people learn. So if you're with me and you don't like this app, I suggest reporting it to the App Store, reporting the post, and don't contribute to the hate. And when people bring this topic up to you, shut it down. Shut it down. I hope to see this app gone, diminished. That's it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see about it. Nothing. So please, stop contributing to this hateful trend and spread more positivity. I know you guys want to have each other's backs, but you're doing more harm than good.
A woman in the comments said, I 100% get where she's coming from. Yeah, it's meant to protect girls from certain guys, but at this point, it's turning into false accusations, stretched stories, and rumors. Like she said, it's doing more harm than good. Thank you. Another woman says, exactly, it's so classless. And if we say that, we get called a pick-me. Destiny says, girls fighting with girls. Get a hobby. This is what men keep on saying about all of these other groups that you guys got going on. Y'all just saying stuff. It's just a bunch of gossip. It's just a bunch of nonsense. And men have to sit around and allow this slander. But when a man says, hey, stop dating this type of woman. Hey, look out for this type of woman. Hey, get your bag this way. Hey, do this to improve yourself. Then all of a sudden it's, where are the men at? Who's going to be the boys? Y'all not paying attention to women anymore? Where are the single men? Why are you guys not approaching us? Like, you guys seem like you're only interested in talking to other men. Do you like guys? Why are you guys not over here buying our drinks and paying for our dinner and paying for our rent and our nails? Because y'all keep on putting us in these types of groups, talking about foolishness, and y'all know it's dead wrong.
I posted a video about how I ended up posting on my TikTok story an unedited clip of me showering on TikTok. That video now has 33,000 views, but the thing is, I have gotten so many followers that are creepy men. Like, guys, one, this is an OnlyFans, and two, I'm not posting that type of content. It was part of a wholesome day in the life video, and I just happened to mess up and press the wrong button.
So you posted yourself unclothed in a shower, and men are creepy for wanting to see more of that content that you just posted. Is this a joke?
And for all the men out there complaining that, oh, but in order to take a girl on a date, I have to spend so much money. If that's really what you're worried about, don't date a woman. Don't date a man. Date a man. Like, nobody said you had to spend, like, bank, but, like, you're complaining about spending money on taking a girl out on a date. Like, clearly you have priorities. You worried about the wrong things. Now, I understand not wanting to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a date, but, like, it's not like you're gonna be taking them to some, like... Oh my god. I was really contemplating making this video because I knew some people would get mad, but
A dude says, it's so easy to talk about money a man should be spending, or not to worry about spending when you're never the one expected to spend your money. This woman comes back and says, I don't mind spending money on friends and family. Exactly. Friends and family. Not a complete stranger that you don't really even know. Even if y'all have talked on the phone, which I recommend, even if y'all have FaceTimed, which I recommend, should get you more comfortable with actually knowing who you're talking to. Y'all might be meeting for the first time in real life, and the man has to put money down. Sometimes an exorbitant amount of money. But you've known these people for 5, 10, 15 years at least. So, of course, you'd be okay spending money on them.
There is one creator on this app that y'all suddenly started taking as the gospel truth, who literally, when I look at their page, when I look at their eyes, I see beady eyes. And that alone is enough for me to not listen to a damn thing that person got to say. Now, suddenly, y'all have found out that this particular woman, who came out of nowhere, mind you, y'all talk about Quan Mills being in the CIA, but y'all let a random white woman with beady eyes come on here and tell you that every single man is out for one thing and that there's no good men with feelings or heart left in the world or society. Now, I'm not saying that some of it ain't true or sound pleasing to an ear, especially when you're out in this dating market of today, but I always question, why is this person suddenly being pushed onto the algorithm? Where did they come from? It's almost like the movie Sinners, when that demon just popped up out of the ground and showed up at those white people's doorstep. Like, where do y'all be coming from with these beady eyes?
They're talking about the flawed villain, apparently, talking a whole bunch of nonsense. It never gets old. You get on this app saying a bunch of foolishness, get a bunch of followers, and all of a sudden, essentially, you are another version. Not the same, but in the same way your thoughts are like kooky and weird and leading a revolutionary mindset. Kind of like Sprinkle Sprinkle. These women get out here following this type of foolishness, and they wonder why men are like, ooh, I don't think I'm going to be paying for that. Split the bill.
I saw this awful thing on TikTok, how to like keep your man interested. And it was like, to keep your man interested, like never like ask for a compliment. I was thinking, geez, I do it all the time. Like, do you like this? Like, I'll put a nice dress on and be like, oh, so do you like this dress then?
God, I never do.
I'm like, shut up.
I'm keeping my man interested.
You
He'll tell me if he likes something, and it'll be like really random. Like, I'll tell you something he loves is a Hunza G all in one piece. And I'm like, that is so unsexy. Like, why do you not think that I look nice in my skimpy bikini? He'll be like, whoa, Thonk, he doesn't like that. He's like, it's a bit much, isn't it?
totally loves that.
He's like, don't, come on, we need to be a bit more classy.
Got it.
I'm like, not me in the full cover up from head to toe.
She's in a wetsuit. Hunt, you look amazing.
At Chrissy's wedding, he really actually does like very like classic, elegant stuff actually, because he was like, this is the most amazing dress I've ever seen in my life. I was like, what, this yellow drop waist dress?
My dad loved your yellow one that you wore to the Eden Rock wedding. My dad goes, have you seen Sophie in this dress? He was like, it's this amazing ball gown thing. It was sort of yellow and like this long. And I was like, yeah, it was really cool.
No, I can't. I actually have a tear in my
Oh, I
eye,
know.
Edwin.
Imagine that. A man finding it extremely attractive that you would want to wear something that covers you up. Imagine that.
I jokingly bought a muumuu from Walmart as a joke. I told my husband I bought him something sexy, and this is what I bought from Walmart muumuu. But I get it now. I totally get it. I understand why women wore them. I probably will only wear this to sleep in from here on out. He did actually find it pretty sexy, I can't even lie. But it's so comfy. I'm a muumuu converter. I'm going to convert you to wear one too. $10 from Walmart, maybe even $7, I don't remember. Go get your muumuu.
And on the topic of the tiny bikinis in places like water parks and whatever, I think you guys who are going 10 times harder about wanting to be borderline in front of children, I think you are the weird ones. I think if it were men doubling down on this conversation, it would be a totally different one. You're dumb. You're just dumb, okay? We get it. You want to have your butt when you bend over. I don't have to look at that. I don't have to want to look at that. Okay, let alone want to look at that in front of my children or my nieces and nephews, because why are you going so hard to be half naked in front of children, even if it is your right? Like, no matter how badly I want to wear a certain outfit, if I think there are going to be lots of kids around, I rethink that. Notice that word I used, think. I think that would be inappropriate to do in front of children. Why would I want to be almost half naked in front of children? Especially in public spaces designed for children and families. Like, it's not anybody's being insecure or jealous of you because they don't want to see your butt when you bend over. Like, other adults are allowed to not want to look at you half naked. I think you've all lost the plot. I live at the beach, okay? Yeah, at the beach, whatever, wear whatever you want. But I'm telling you, people lose their tops and their bottoms all the time diving into yellow flag waves. So you think you're coming down a water slide with your bikini and teeny tiny top on and you're not going to lose it or expose yourself to some of those children around you? Doubling down on that is weird. How bad you guys want to be half naked in front of children is weird, especially in places designed for children and families. Not to mention, a lot of times, you guys do not look good in what you're wearing, even in regular clothes, because you're only trying to be half naked, okay? Like, I'm sorry, I don't really want to look at your butt in Dixie either, but you guys are wearing half naked outfits there as well. In adult-only spaces like bars or clubs, or even an adult-only water park or resort, sure, do whatever you want. Expose your if you want. I don't want to look at that at Big Kahunas. I don't. Not with my niece and nephew. I don't think that's a problem. I think it's weird how hard you guys are going for this. You're the weird ones. If this were men, we'd be calling them a whole bunch of other names. But because it's women and they feel empowered, like, are you really that empowered if you're still pointing your finger at all these moms and other adults saying, you're just insecure, you don't want your husband to look at me? No, dude. I think you guys should put more clothes on, especially in places children are going to be. You should. Also, children do notice things. They're not these incapacitated little humans. They have thoughts. In fact, they're going to notice things about you you've probably never noticed about yourself. You can have a conversation with a kid and walk away with a brand new insecurity. So don't use that narrative either. You want to be half naked in front of children, and you're the weird one.
And a lot of these ladies that want to show their behinds and their bodies off in front of little kids and then go and call a man an offender, a man that likes to put his hands on certain demographics of people that he shouldn't be, and it's considered a crime, at least in the US. They want to put them in jail automatically. But then you're showing yourself. I heard some woman after this video say something like, it's just a cheek. Excuse me? They doing a lot out here. They doing too much.
You ever think about how crazy it is that we just like walk around in bikinis? Like, no big deal. Like, you're just like walking in the street, down the driveway in your bikini, and your neighbor sees you, and it's like not weird. But why is like wearing a bra and underwear so scandalous? Because seriously, I think my bra and my underwear has more coverage than the modern day bikini.
I'm taking your man. Girl came on there with that big ass booty and still ain't got no man. Love Island will humble you.
I have a very genuine question for any straight men out there. Do y'all find Meredith Grey attractive? Like sexy? And I mean like seasons, I don't know, 1 through 5. Like, obviously she's a little bit older now, so whatever. I think she's gorgeous, beautiful, amazing lady. But I can't tell if she's just like cast to be sexualized or if I actually find her like sexually attractive.
Who the heck is Meredith Grey? And why would any man care?
Now, I agree with everything Glorilla said and Typa, except for I ain't in your business. Because if I'm with you, I'm all up in that. And we're not both outside. I'm outside occasionally, and you in the house.
Exactly. And this is the type of irresponsibility that a lot of women out here want men to put up with. I can be in your business, all in your phone, but I'm going to be outside doing my thing. But I want you to stay in the house.
Let these men... Oh, okay, hold on. Let these men feel like kids around you. Let these men bask in their self-glory and, frolic and have peace of mind around you. I don't know where this came from to where women feel like their man needs to like just be manly all the time. Like,
They also need to have a life. They also need to, you know, express themselves in a giddy, childlike manner. It can't just be one-sided. Like, honestly, if my man did not express himself like that, I'm doing something wrong in my head. In my head, if my man does not have like childlike behavior, like when he's sick, he's all up under me, he needs me to take care of him, in my head, he does not like me. If he has to call his mom to figure out how to take care of himself when he's sick, or if he has to call his mom when he feels down or something like that, he does not like me, and I'm not doing my job. And honestly, it's wild to think that we are out here as women talking about men can't do X, Y, and Z. They absolutely can, as long as they're taking care of you, respecting you, and providing. Like, anything outside of that they want to deem self-love and is peaceful to them, that's up to them. Yeah, give these men their grace and let them be in peace, however they feel like they need to be in peace. Y'all are weird if y'all have anything to say about that. I will argue, and I actually have time to argue. I don't want to argue. I actually don't want to, but I will. Let these men be. Let these men be.
It's a simple concept, and yet you have some of these women that are saying if a man feels like a kid around you, leave him because he doesn't want any responsibility.
An ungodly woman is loud and rude. A godly woman is kind and quieted within. An ungodly woman is bossy and demanding. A godly woman is submissive and content. An ungodly woman is hungry for attention, while a godly woman is clothed in humility.
And she's actually very pretty, so I wonder how they're going to tear her down now.
If you don't like men, stop dating them. That is a really bold thing to say, I know, because none of you will stop. But recently, I've had to stop watching any dating content that was geared towards women, because all of it is pretty much a manipulation course on how to date a dude. And since when have they been so essential that we need to give up our faith in having a genuine connection, give up our faith in true reciprocation and trust, so that we can have like a husband? I don't want to give them too much credit, but there are good men out there. And if you're absolutely set on believing you will never find a good one, go to therapy and stop watching Sprinkle Sprinkle. This dating content is geared to protect you. The way that most men view women is atrocious. But I realized recently I don't have to watch this stuff anymore. I don't have to watch man-hate content, femcel content, because I very intentionally created a life where I don't interact with men on a daily basis. At least not cis straight ones. I don't surround myself with anyone who is interested in upholding the structure of manhood. This content enforces gender stereotypes that are misogyny. Believing fundamentally that men have to take on a certain role and women have to take on a certain role is not progressive. So no, I don't think we need to like give men credit and be really forgiving and kind and trusting, because that's how we got to this defensive state. But if you're gonna date someone, it should be easy to feel respected by them, nurtured by them. And if you think you need to do mental gymnastics and master manipulation tactics, you're not gonna find a genuine relationship with any gender. And you should probably first focus on building a life in which you center yourself and your priorities, your platonic relationships, your hobbies, and things that make you happy. Love you.
Somebody in the comments said, Sprinkle Sprinkle Lady gives advice for sugaring, not dating. I wish more people realized that. A lot of these young ladies do realize that. They just want money, so they don't care how they get it by any means necessary.
If I'm walking down the street and I see a black man with a white woman, there's a weakness in him. Ooh. Something in him is weak.
What? Hold on, let her speak. Let her speak. Let her speak. We judging too quickly. Let her speak. Let her speak. Come on now. Let's get to the video.
When I see a black woman with a white man,
okay, hold the same.
Despite all the historical context that we know, that sits behind that, I think, oh, she must have got just, she's tired. Like she must have got so fed up that she's getting to rest.
I really don't care about her opinion because it's stupid, but I want to highlight what she said. She said, despite all of the historical context that we know, she sees that if a black woman is with a white man, she's tired. I have to relate that being slavery. So you're saying, despite how those white men treated our black women during slavery, it's okay now because you're tired.
And you can tell by the way she moves her hands, the way she's sitting in that seat, the way she's looking to the side, really trying to explain it. She actually believes what she's talking about. Girl, leave people alone.
I
was raped by a well-known Miami club promoter on my 21st birthday, and the system failed me.
This is a perfect example of learning how to respond logically first instead of emotionally. Because word for word, this is exactly what John Cannon was talking about. Men and women alike got real frustrated, thought he was coming for them, started making comments about his family, you know, in particular his wife. I'm not even going to go into detail about that because that's not the reason of the video. But we just have to do a better job. Anytime we come up with these great discussions and the majority of the people are the Black community, there is never a resolution. We never talk about resolution. It just goes unresolved. I'm going to say all those people who took the time and still have their post up to blast John Cannon for taking what he was saying the wrong way, you should do a following piece. Maybe not if you don't want to apologize, because I know we live in a world where we're too big to apologize, but you should definitely look at what happened to this young lady and then make another piece and correct yourselves and maybe give John Cannon an apology. I even made a previous post saying that I felt him and Deontay were both correct. I never thought he was wrong at all. I'm just saying you are reacting emotionally. All he's saying, if you are going to frequent these places, i.e. clubs, exactly what happens, unfortunately, and God bless her and all the best to her, to this 21-year-old young lady, that you have to take better precautions. That was his only point. Everyone took that, ran with it, made it their own thing, and here we are. And this is a revolving door. We keep bringing up these great topics for the Black community, and I'm speaking specifically for the Black community, and it still ends up the same way with men and women against each other. Doesn't matter if it's accountability, doesn't matter if it's dating within the Black community, doesn't matter what the topic is. It just drives us further apart, and it sucks. I just wanted to prove that point. I'm done.
And a lot of times when people respond logically instead of emotionally, you have a lot of other people that get upset because it's not what I want to hear. It's not what you should say in the moment. And I get it. There's certain things that you should be mindful of and aware of because emotions are very real. And when emotions run high and you say the wrong thing, then it could lead to, negative actions, right? But men in your life, especially the men that you trust, you call them protectors and providers. You guys keep on saying that men don't know how it is or what it feels like to walk outside and be in fear of your life or fear for your life. As a protector, why not? As a hunter, why not? If we're out there in the elements, and not necessarily in the elements, so to speak, in terms of actually being out in the woods or whatever, but moving throughout the world. If we're moving throughout the world and we see certain things, and then we say, watch out for that, look out for that. Hey, if you're going to go in this area or this environment, be aware of X, Y, and Z. I'm not getting it. And even when some of these men are saying it too, when they say things like, well, the reason he doesn't want you going to the club or going to these places because he knows how he was and he knows how men can be. No, I know that if you go, because you're trying to say it's all men. I know that if you go into this environment, you're going to have some fellas that can emerge and they'll try to do certain things. They'll try to say certain things. So if you're telling me that you don't want that type of attention, then stay out of this sort of area. Stay away from this type of person. You say that you trust me, right? You say that you trust the direction that we're going. I'm telling you, whether it fits in another household or not, whether another man agrees with it or not, I'm telling you, you might want to be careful in this situation. Or if you're going to go into this situation, you might want to be on guard. You might want to have a certain idea, a concrete plan for how you're going to get out of it, how you're going to maneuver through it. A lot of times, some of these ladies, they don't want to think about any of that. They don't want to have to think about any of that. That's why they keep on saying, why don't you just teach men to be good men so we can just basically do whatever you want? Sure, we can teach men to be good men and great men, but people are still bad. So if we removed all of the men, women are still going to have some silly stuff that they're doing, and you're going to run into that problem again. A woman is just going to fill that void. Period. End of story. Right? So what's going to happen if you go into these environments doing silly stuff is that somebody's going to, you're going to call your man, because that's the person that you put your hope in. He's going to run down there. You're going to be emotional. You're not going to paint him an accurate picture of what's actually going on. And he's going to run into something that's extremely dangerous. In some situations, tragic. And then all your hope is gone. And then what are you going to do? Be on the news crying about justice for James. And it'll have been your fault. I got to live with the pain of. You got to live with the pain of you doing silly stuff. Moving in environments that you should not have been in. Moving in environments that you were not aware of the dangers. And you didn't care about the dangers. That's what men are saying.
I'm 28 years old, but like, yes, I'm just a girl.
It doesn't work like that. You're pushing 30, grown ass woman. You're old.
All right, I live in Austin, Texas, and I'm looking for a boyfriend, and I don't know how to find one because Hinge is awful. I canceled my ride because I was only matching with people in other countries, and I don't know where to go to meet people, but it's brutal out here. I'm 26 and I've been single my whole life, and I don't know why. I've done self-reflection, okay? I've asked all my friends. I'm like, am I the problem? And they all say no, so I hope they're not lying to me. But anyway, it's tough out here.
Have you ever thought about asking any men, like maybe men you trust, what you could do, maybe for their opinion?
Accountability is not saying I got mad because of this. Accountability is I got mad because of this, and this is what I'm going to do to do better next time. Everybody around you is being bled on because of your wounds. Because y'all take mad to the extremist extreme. Y'all take sadness to the extremist extreme. Y'all have to be tired. Now, I'm not saying, hey man, I'm not innocent. I am not innocent. But I could look in the mirror. That's the point of the video. Looking in the mirror. I could look in the mirror and say, we need to do better as a collective. People are getting too comfortable.
You see this? Fake. Walmart. $14. Now nobody's gonna bother me. Because apparently men respect other men, but they don't respect women who say, no thank you. So, hack, ladies.
A dude in the comments said, I don't even think that you had that problem. Goodness.
Only thing you have to do to stand out these days is put on some clothes. In a world full of athleisure, put you on some clothes, you'll stand out in any room.
All right, this is a question for the men and the men only. If you see a girl that you think it's pretty, do you hesitate on going to talk to her? Do you start getting in your head thinking she might reject me? She might think I'm not cute? Or do you not care about nothing and you risk everything and you go and talk to her? I need to know, just for research purposes.
This might be controversial, but I think we need to start being nicer to men online. I know I have definitely made jokes, and I'm a Democrat, I'm a feminist, but I'm rethinking this now. There are 3 pieces of media that I think are relevant. First is this podcast episode where they interview involuntary celibates, aka incels, men who hate women. And spoiler, one of the guys ends up changing his mind because the female interviewer is so nice to him that he's like, how can I hate women when this woman right here is being so nice to me? The second thing is this documentary. It's actually about flat earthers, people who think the earth is flat and why they think that. One of the most impactful moments of the show is that it's not the flat earthers who are wrong, it is we who are wrong in how we treat the flat earthers. Because if you truly want somebody to believe science and to think the earth is round, you have to treat them with respect and create a place for them in society. When we ridicule them and make fun of them, we push them further to the fringes, which is why they go further into flat earth thinking and communities. The third, full disclosure, I skimmed it. This article in the New York Times, it's talking about Jordan Peterson, the rise of the manosphere. I think the manosphere is comforting and it creates a place for young men. You have the left or Democrats rightfully criticizing men and calling them out for their bad behavior. And then you have this other area of the manosphere that's you're right, you're fine. It makes sense that men are going to a place where they feel welcomed and comforted and validated. It's also terrible because now we have a right-wing country. I'm thinking like, okay, how can we do both? How can we both hold men accountable, teach them how to act in appropriate ways, but also do that while creating a space that's welcoming? So I feel kind of bad for some of the things I've said before on here about men. Like, I've definitely made jokes at their expense. So going forward, I want to try to be nicer about men. I want to try to create a space within like the Democrat, like left-wing area where men can come and be loved and valued, because we love men and men have power. So like men or not like them, they are the ones with the power, and we need people with the power on our side. Anyway, let me know if that doesn't make sense. And if you haven't had a cowtail in a while, go get one.
I think men get jokes. They, if you've ever been around men constantly crack on each other. They joke on each other. Sometimes these things are sort of low blows, but as a man, you're like, oh man, we were just joking, we were just playing. Like, kind of like grow something, be tough about it, right? Some things obviously you shouldn't say, but what I'm trying to get across is that men can take a joke. It's not the joke. It's the fact that you guys don't actually like men. Y'all don't. Y'all don't want to be around them. Y'all think that men are useless for pretty much everything else other than to serve your purpose and the things that you want to do, right? And so you say that the manosphere is comforting them and telling them that they're perfect just the way they are. Not really. You obviously have criticisms, but when you beat somebody down so much to your point and they say, you know what, I'm going to go somewhere where people are validating what I'm saying, because y'all keep on saying I'm crazy, and I know I see what I see. I know I'm looking at what I'm looking at. If you're telling me that I'm wrong for saying $300 on a first date is too much, I need some sort of center. I need some sort of gravity. You guys talk about finding groups that work, men getting with men and talking with other men. And then when a man says, am I crazy for this, bro? No, bro, you're not. This is actually what they're doing. And you need to avoid that at all cost, right? Obviously, there's some toxicity. You want to kind of stay away from that. But overall, in general, y'all are mad. Let me not say mad. Let me just say this. Men go to places where they're saying, bro, I'm just trying to get a baseline for things that I thought were wrong. And when a man says, yeah, man, that's wrong. Now, I think what you should do in this situation is X, Y, and Z. But that what you're talking about, yeah, that's wrong. Avoid that.
Boys will tell you they think that you look better without makeup and then be like, yes, she's never heard that one before. This is revolutionary.
Or maybe he just likes you better with makeup. Have you ever thought about that?
Chat, also, I don't know who needs a not friendly reminder, but if there's an emergency vehicle behind you, you need to get the f out of the way.
I have officially decided to end things with the guy that I've been going on dates with for the past couple of weeks. He's a really great guy, considerate, he's kind, he's very sweet. He basically has like all the emotional things that I've always said that I wanted in my partner. He checks all of my emotional boxes, but unfortunately, I'm just not that into him. The attraction component is missing, and the most important thing to me is that we need to have cultural alignment, and we don't have that. I've said this before, but I really want to marry a Nigerian man. I want to have a Nigerian family. Unfortunately for this guy, he's not Nigerian. And I've caught myself thinking at a couple of different times that I wish I could just take him and put him in a different package. And that's just so messed up to think about somebody else. I would hate it if somebody had those thoughts about me. I honestly feel really bad because I'm supposed to like him. I'm just not feeling it. Like, it's really not there for me. Nigerian men honestly don't deserve this allegiance from me. They have done nothing to earn it. And yeah, I'm just giving it so freely. But it's more about like cultural preservation. Like, I really do want to preserve my culture, and I don't feel very confident in my ability to do that if I marry somebody outside of my culture. I've dated non-Nigerian guys in the past, and it's been fine because I always knew that I was never gonna go anywhere serious. I know this guy, he's
pretty serious about what he wants out of life. I could just tell that if we do end up doing the boyfriend and girlfriend thing, it will likely lead to marriage, and I do not really want that with him. Again, he's a wonderful man, but he's just not my man, so I need to let him go. Plot twist, I actually wasn't feeling the half up, half down vibe. Maybe I'll try it again, I don't know. Changed my mind again, and now we're doing a ponytail. I did something wrong with my under eyes, so now we're redoing that. Back to me having to end things with this poor man. I'm not the easiest person to date, and I can admit that my mouth gets really crazy sometimes. Like, not abusive crazy, more like a lot of sarcastic whips. Maybe when you're not in the mood to hear them. Okay, let's see if I'm the problem. Like I was saying, a lot of men can't really handle the type of person that I am, but Nigerian men can. Oh my god, I'm scared of myself. I do not like this. I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know, something has been so off in how I've been doing my makeup lately. I just have not been liking the final looks. The setting powder, it looks too done, and it's not blending how I want it to blend. I'm about to stay home. Oh my god. Being so serious, I will cancel my plans and stay home. We're just moving on to the lippy, and let's see how the whole look comes together. Okay, I'm starting to like my makeup. I'm starting to like her. I was rushing to judgment. Yeah, I'm liking this. I like her. She's a little cutie. Should I do a bun? I'm gonna go with a bun. I think, I don't know. We're gonna do the bun. Yeah, I like my makeup a lot right now. I just have to trust the process. If I get tired of the bun, I will do a pony later in my night. This is the final face. I'll see you guys later.
I see where you're coming from, but I think I would ask, what is it about your culture that you want to preserve? Because you can marry a dude from a different culture. It depends on your beliefs and your values, right? You don't want to compromise those. But what parts of your Nigerian culture do you think that you're going to leave behind if you date this guy, right? Somebody in the comments said, well, you shouldn't have dated him from the jump if he wasn't Nigerian. Got it. I understand that. I agree. But I think if you thought he was a good guy and you said, okay, let's see where this goes, I feel like maybe there are some people out there that will ingratiate themselves to your culture. They will learn the ways of your culture, and you guys have a beautiful blend of whatever it is that you want. So those things that you thinking that you're going to have to give away or going to give up or you're going to have to forget, maybe some things, yes, but then maybe the important things, if the man is really a nice guy, he's a good guy like that, you're saying that he is, and maybe you already had to talk, so you know, yeah, this is not going to move forward. But that would be my question, is what are the things that you want to keep from your culture? Because maybe he might be willing to say, yeah, that's fine, that looks good to me, that sounds great to me, let's go forward. And you guys kind of like balance each other out.
Y'all, the comment section on my last video is really wearing me out. Some girl put in the comments, and I'm not gonna look for it because there's almost 3,000 of them now, but she said black men hate black women and you can't convince me otherwise. Honestly, the amount of hatred that some of y'all carry in your hearts is very detrimental to your growth. And listen, I hear you. I'm not here to argue or convince you otherwise. I just want to make my stance very clear. I will die on this hill of supporting black men. The love that I have seen in my comment section over the past 24 hours and almost the 1,000 black men that have followed me since I posted that video, you could never convince me that all black men are against me. You could never. Couple that with the love that I've received in real life, because I have always dated black men. Somebody asked me in the comments if I've ever dated a black man. What are you? Stop playing with me. I will never turn on my brothers, my internet brothers, and my actual big brothers in real life. You could never. Now, if you made that choice, that's on you. And we can agree to disagree. But one thing I genuinely pray is that you ladies never have sons and treat them maliciously. I pray they never see the hatred that y'all post online. And I really hope that this is just happening online. I'm not asking you to protect all men on the internet. I'm asking you to recognize that not all men are terrible. That's it. Terrible men will always exist. And some of y'all are waiting until terrible men stop existing before you start caring about men. That's never gonna happen. Start loving on the men in your lives right now, and then maybe they won't grow up to be the type of men that you hate. Anyway, y'all have a great day, because I know I will.
Cooking with Alex. Cooking with Alex. Cooking with Alex. Y'all better keep your mans away. Look what I got. Y'all see this right here?
Y'all see that? That's premium. You see that glistening? Mm-hmm. Y'all ain't never seen that.
Alright guys, let's try it together.
I'm taking men for this one. Keep them away. Keep them away.
That stuff. Blacker than Akon. Another person said, the pain in your voice as you chewed. Another person said, eating the darn charcoal. Here's another one. Here's the last one. I'm going to read the last one. Ribs ain't supposed to crunch. Ribs ain't supposed to crunch like Doritos.
Actually crazy to say, but like as a straight man, I don't need you to do a day in the life. Get to the office. Like I don't need to see a day. I don't want to know what you did in the life. Work. Go to work. You shouldn't have the time. You shouldn't have an Octobuddy. Octobuddy should be banned from all straight men. Same with podcast mics. That's another video though. You shouldn't have time to set up the phone. You shouldn't have time to be editing this video. Your job, go to work, don't lie, be kind to whatever woman is the object of your affection. Go get flowers. Like, why are you setting up your tripod? Go get flowers at the store. The first clip is always you like stretching in the morning. I wish I could unsee that. Now you're making yourself a black coffee. Like you're not even gonna give us anything interesting. You should be making your lady friend, whoever she is, a coffee and then going to the office. The only time I'm okay with this, like the only time I see one and I'm like, yep, this is good, is if it's a straight man who his like wife, fiance, girlfriend is an influencer. And half the video is him doing her. Otherwise I'm like, scroll. I'm like mute, I'm uninterested. How did I get here? Always leafing through a self-help book. You didn't read that. You're cheating on your girlfriend. You're lying to your hookup. Get a grip.
If a man said, I don't need to see a day in the life, I just need to see that bread on the table. I just need to see that meal, that plate on the table. How do you think that would sound? How well do you think that would go over?
A lot of you men are insecure as hell, and I've realized that you're insecure when a woman is pretty educated and knows how to articulate themselves, and they come from a good background, a loving family, grew up pretty privileged, I would say. A lot of men have issues with that because sometimes men feel intimidated because it's like, oh, can I provide that future for this woman? And then they start to call you a gold digger, and then they start to call you all of these names, and then at the end of the day it's just like, can you really be a gold digger if you just want to continue the life that your parents made you accustomed of? Like, what's the problem with wanting to be with somebody that you can have a good life, that you can send your kids to private school, that you can go on vacation whenever you want? I don't think there's an issue with that, but a lot of you men are insecure.
I see where you're coming from, but you also have to remember that your parents worked for the life that you have. They built the life that you have. So I do get wanting to start from a certain place, but you would still have to work to get what your parents have.
Being thick be having the girls in a chokehold. They be so concerned with trying to remain thick that they'll keep all of the other bad stuff that go along with it. Instead of getting in the gym and losing the arms, losing the back fat, losing the stomach, losing all of the stuff that makes them just overall big, they more concerned with whether or not they don't lose their butt. And again, this may not even be a good shaped butt. This might be some big sloppy squared butt, but they just so concerned with losing that they won't get in the gym. They ask you stuff like, well, if I do too much cardio, is it gonna make me lose my butt? It ain't much of a butt back there, all right? It's just a big mess back there. But that be their main concern about whether or not they're gonna lose that. And it be like, y'all done got so set on trying to preserve this perception of being thick that you're forgetting that when you take pictures, you're putting your purse in front of your stomach because you know your stomach big, right? But instead of fixing that issue so that you can be more comfortable, you more concerned about trying to keep that butt, right?
And it all does go back down to male validation. Men have a lot to do with why women are so obsessed with wanting to be thick, right? Whether, regardless of what women tell you, that they don't do nothing for men, everything is for them, they want to be thick for them. No, you want to be thick because you know that that's what you hear men say that they like. You know how we know this? Because like I said, you know that you're uncomfortable with a lot of different things on your body, but you so scared to lose that one thing that men praise you about that you don't even want to get in the gym to change nothing else. You so scared that if you lose that one thing, that's the thing that men are drawn to you about, that they won't want you no more. That's what you really be concerned about. When you saying that you don't want to go to the gym and lose them curves, you in your mind, that's the best thing you think you got to offer, is whatever is back there. And you scared, God forbid, you lose that, there won't be anything else that the men are attracted to on you, because that's the thing that they're drawn to. That's the thing that they always talking about when it comes to you. Like me right now, with me being on my weight loss journey, I'm highly offended anytime a man come telling me that he think that I'm good where I'm at and I don't need to lose no more weight. Who do you think you is? Right? You ain't about to keep me big just because you want to go around talking about thick. I don't want to be thick. I want to be athletically built. I want to be fit. All right? I don't care about that trying to be thick stuff. But yeah, it's a slippery slope. That whole trying to preserve curves, it keeps you from being the best version of yourself, because you're too focused on stuff you don't need to be focused on. You need to be overall focused on your body being proportionate and everything being fit, firm, and put together. But you more concerned, you rather stay sloppy and just have this big sloppy butt.
Honestly, I get it. Because if you have a lot of these ladies and the media, society telling you that you have to look a certain way, the beauty industry, makeup, if you want to be in fashion, you want to be a model, they're telling you have to look a certain way, your curves have to be a certain way, then that would be your focus. If I slim down, I'm healthy, but I'm not getting any looks. I'm not getting anybody that is attracted to me. That's my currency. Never mind that. Yeah, I might lose a little here, I might lose a little there, but I'm going to feel better. I'm going to be more productive. I'm going to be able to go into different avenues of things and maybe have a little bit more confidence. They're not worried about that, because a lot of these women out here, modern women, not all women, a lot of these women out here are looking to use their attractiveness or their what they think is attractive as their skills, instead of actually developing something, instead of actually building something. They would rather just use the way they look to get where they solely, let me say that, they would rather solely rely on the way they look to get to where they want to go.
I also want to remind everybody that Chris from Love Island has 7 sisters. That emotionally mature, beautiful man has 7 sisters, okay? And that's why he moves like that. If you have that many sisters or that much female influence in your life, that is the way you move. You are probably going to be more emotionally mature than your male contemporaries. I love Chris. I've loved him since the day he walked into that island. He is so mature. I ship him and Huda so much, and I never ship anybody, okay? He's got me thinking, maybe they're out there. Maybe they're out there. When he acknowledged that that emotional cheating is a thing, when he was honest, like the way he's moving in general, I felt him so heavy. And Shelly choosing Ace over him is crazy, crazy work. Like if you're still entertaining Ace when there's a Chris in the picture, then you need to just go with Ace. And you need to stop wasting Chris's time. The way he handled that whole challenge with the questioning, like he is so mature. He's one of the only mature people on the show. And I hate that I'm coming on here and praising a man like this. But that episode was a mess. And it made me reevaluate the way I see a lot of people on the show. And I understand that I didn't watch the first episode, so maybe I don't know what to talk about. But I've seen every episode with Chris. And off him.
He's on a dating show. He's on a reality dating show. You're talking about how much emotional intelligence that he has on a dating show. And it's not even one of those quote unquote, I don't know, maybe like The Bachelor or something like that, where it's supposed to be, I guess, more elegant, more classy, like the Golden Bachelor or something like that. This is Love Island. That's what it is. This is why y'all keep on running into the wrong dudes.
If all you do on the internet is just hate on men 24/7, you're not fixing anything or dismantling the patriarchy, you're actually fueling the problem. Toxic men aren't the only ones watching. There are young, very impressionable boys, literal children, that are also on the internet. And if all they hear is men are trash, some of them are going to grow up kinder or more accountable. They're going to grow up bitter, insecure, and angry. You think you're calling out bad behavior, but you might be laying the foundation for worse behavior, because now there's a whole generation of boys who think they're hated just for existing, and when people feel hopeless, they either shut down or lash out. Who said that?
And I just have to be the one to tell y'all that y'all do not be looking, when y'all be saying, oh, I just give him that look and he should know that I'm flirting with him, da da da. Y'all be dead looking like, and just moving your eyes around thinking you giving like, that's not giving sex appeal, babe. But y'all look like y'all just staring and like hella weird. Y'all be talking like, be on, like, you see me looking like, y'all be like, girl, put some oomph in it, like, give a little. You know, like, bitch, y'all do not be giving like y'all be thinking y'all be giving. Like, of course, he, bitch, you like you want to be left alone. Not like somebody, she wants somebody to come up and approach her, bitch, you not giving. You're not smizing. Like, you know, you gotta give cute. Y'all bitches be dead looking like. Better attitude.
I went on a date with a guy today, and after we got drinks, I was like, let's walk around these stores, just like window shop basically. So I'll just extend our date a little longer, spend more time. Well, we went into one and he kept pointing out things that he thought would look good on me. And one of these was a button-up shirt. And I was like, I love button-ups. I always think they're so cute, but I just feel like I look too masculine in them. They don't lay on my body right or how I'm picturing it, so I just never end up wearing them. It feels too masculine. And he said, what? Masculine? I love your shoulders. Okay. I didn't say my shoulders, buddy. But now I know what you're thinking. Thank you.
He's thinking that you would look nice in the things that he pointed out for you. Stop being weird.